songs. Craig was joking around. We were pretending to write oi songs. Yeah. And then Armand came up with these fucking lyrics that mean so much to a lot of people, not just here, but around the world. So let's sing it loud and fucking proud where it was born, right here in New York City. Everybody, this is it. Get your money's worth. Step down!
victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decide the fiction from the truth. Society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking opinion.
What's up? What's happening? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Good to see everybody, and there's a lot of you out there today. A rather somber episode paying homage to our friend and loved one, Lou Koller, who passed away fairly recently. Good to see everybody. Yeah, a little nervous about today, you know. It's like, I want to do my friend right, you know. Fuck. So thanks for coming by. And, you know, a couple of guests are going to be coming through the show today. And, but first, what I thought I would lead the show off by myself, the only one here. I'm going to read Lou's obit from the New York Times, which was written by a guy named Alex Williams. And although I'm sure it may not be perfect, I thought it was very well done. And it meant a lot to me personally, being a New York City kid, to see Lou's obituary in the New York Times done right. Somebody really took some time and did a nice job. So I'm going to read it, and then we're going to bring some guests on. So that said, stick with me. It's a little lengthy, but I think this is a good intro to our show today. So here we go. Lou Koller, the frontman of Sick of It All, a standard bearer of New York City hardcore punk that emerged from an insular and sometimes violent subculture to do the least or maybe the most punk rock thing imaginable, promote friendship and togetherness, died on July 24th in Matawan, New Jersey. He was 61. His death at a hospice facility was caused by esophageal cancer. His brother Pete Koller, the band's guitarist and co-founder, said. To the initiated, Sick of It All were the titans of the New York hardcore scene. As Vice noted in 2015, adding that the band was, quote, the closest the hardcore scene has to a household name. Even so, when journalists trotted out superlatives, quote, we would always set them straight and say that we aren't the godfathers of hardcore, Mr. Koller recently told the music site Louder, but we are happy to be the ambassadors of hardcore. Also, maybe the survivors. In a genre in which some bands seem to last about as long as a stage dive, the group rolled on for nearly 4 decades, roughly twice as long as the Ramones, who were known as the Grateful Dead of punk for their endless touring. Along the way, Sick of It All released 12 studio albums. While carrying the flag for hardcore, the band carved out its own sound, blending the machine gun energy of punk. 16 of the 19 songs on its first full-length studio album, Blood, Sweat, and No Tears in 1989, were shorter than 2 minutes, with the 10-ton thud of Black Sabbath-style heavy metal. Quote, we're a pure hardcore band, Mr. Koller said in a 2018 interview with Kerrang, the British music magazine, but we grew up listening to rock and roll and metal, so to us, it was a natural progression. His Mad Dog vocals captured the fury of both genres. Quote, Lou would scream within pitches, Pete Koller said in an interview. He would change the notes of his screaming. Emerging from a world in which 500 people at a gig constituted a big crowd, Sick of It All didn't court mainstream success. Still, the band's breakthrough album, Scratch the Surface, in 1994, sold more than 250,000 copies and is credited with helping to spread New York's sledgehammer brand of hardcore to an international audience. Step Down, A track from that album even made it to MTV, turning the band into, quote, trailblazers for a type of music that had never so much as it made a dent outside its own walls, Lauder said. The band broadened its appeal by touring with heavy metal and new metal acts like Exodus, Korn, and Slayer. Quote, "We always have people looking at us like, what? To begin with," Mr. Koller told Lauder. And then, whether they liked it or not, you could see they appreciated the energy of this type of music. The band defied expectations in other ways too. Sick of it all emerged from a club world where moshing or slam dancing could almost be confused with hand-to-hand combat. But instead of stoking the rage with the anarchic nihilism of many hardcore bands, it served up messages of unity and mutual respect. In Good Looking Out from the 1997 album Built to Last, Mr. Koller extolled the virtues of loyalty and support among friends. Quote, "You're not in this all alone. Just look around and you'll see the answers right before your eyes. I'm here for you and you for me." He concluded the song by snarling, quote, "True friends will always be there." In Push Too Far from Blood, Sweat, No Tears, the band denounced bullies. Quote, "Walking around, think you're so cool, beating up kids weaker than you." Quote, "It's about being respectful to everybody," Mr. Koller told Kerrang in 2020. Quote, "Treat everybody cool, and that's the key to everything in this life," end quote. Louis Pierre Koller was born on July 15th, 1965 in Flushing, Queens, the third of four sons of Louis, a bank executive, and Josette Koller, who managed his home. Sick of It All, which originally featured Rich Cipriano on bass and Armand Majadi on drums, came together while the Koller brothers were students at Francis Lewis High School in Fresh Meadows, Queens. So, shouting out everybody, all the Queens motherfuckers out there right now. They had scarcely begun to rehearse when in 1986, a friend, Craig Satari, who would take over Bass Studios in 1992, hooked them up with a club date on Long Island. Quote, "We felt we weren't ready," Mr. Koller told Vice. "We had been rehearsing for a month." He said that if you're not ready now, you'll never be ready. Mr. Koller left high school as they found their footing, and the band eventually became a standout in the thriving New York hardcore world that included notable bands like Agnostic Front, Reagan Youth, and Cro-Mags. With the success of Scratch the Surface and its follow-up Built to Last, the band toured relentlessly. Sick of It All continued to perform until June 2024 when Mr. Koller discovered, attracting a strong following in Europe where they performed at festivals and crowds in front of 80,000 or more. Wake the Sleeping Dragon, the band's last album, was released in 2018. Sick of It All continued to perform until June 2024 when Mr. Koller discovered he had a tumor in his esophagus and it had spread into his stomach. In addition to his brother Pete, he is survived by two other brothers, Stephen and Matthew, a daughter, Aurelia Koller, and his father. Mr. Koller told the Deseret Morning News in Salt Lake City in 2026 that the band's longevity had come as a surprise. He had never expected it to last even 5 years. Quote, "Our first goal was to play CBGB's," he said, referring to the famed East Village punk rock club. "We did that. Then our next goal was to headline CBGB's. We did that too. After that, we didn't have any goals." So rest in peace, Lou Koller. Yeah, very heavy. New York Times. I'd like to bring my co-host on today, Miss Lori Dawn. How you doing?
Hi, it's so nice to see so many people in the chat room already.
Yeah, here we go. I
Yeah.
got away with not looking into the chat room and not just sort of like reading and like not, getting involved.
Yeah, it's so nice seeing it. And somebody had just shown that clip the other day, and there was so many comments about, when the balloons fell, like, "Oh, I still have my crusty balloon. I still have it. So
yeah,
I think a lot of people held on to them, and they're really special now. So
yeah. Well,
yeah.
let's bring our first. Actually, you know what? Let's bring Stephen on a sec. Hey, man.
So,
Hello.
yeah.
Can you hear us? Okay. You freeze. You. are
Maybe he'll be
gone.
back. Yeah. I know he's somewhere on Long Island, so
How about you, Howie? How you doing?
I'm here.
there he is. Okay.
And by
Right
the
down-
way, for me,
Yeah.
further to something you said, fuck somber, because we're celebrating.
Yeah.
And that's what Lou absolutely would have wanted. I don't mean to speak for him, but I will tell you that he didn't want mourning. He wants celebrating. He wants us celebrating hardcore, celebrating sick of it all, celebrating life. So I think that's what we're really doing today. And at the end of the day, that's how you get through these things, is you take these great memories. I remember, Laura, you posted something about everybody bring your great memories to this today.
Yeah.
So that's what I have. And that's why I'm happy to be on here, because I think, celebrating him is really, really what this is about today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right on, man. And I told you, man, I was nervous leading up to this because I just want to do right by my friend,
No
Yeah.
doubt. We will, just because
Yeah.
that's what you do. And I think Lou, his inspiration will force us to do that, because
Sure.
was there
Sure.
anybody more inspirational in hardcore
Yeah.
than him? To be a good person, to celebrate, to do the right thing. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a
Absolutely,
question.
yeah.
I have a question for the universe. Is there crying in hardcore?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. We are allowing all emotions today. Happy tears.
Oh, so there's crying in hardcore today.
Yes,
huh?
there's happy tears too. So that's okay.
'Cause
Absolutely.
Usually there's no crying in hardcore.
No, crying is allowed, man. It's emotional.
Hey, John
Yeah,
Turner.
human.
John Turner, what's up, man? Yo, I thought of
Devil.
you, John. I really did. I thought of you, John, in doing this show. I did.
Devil drove, if I'm not mistaken, I know he drove them to many of their early shows.
Yeah.
But Devil may have driven them to their very first show at the Right Track Inn on Long Island.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So John, let us know for sure if you were the chauffeur for Sick of It All. I know you drove them to their first CB show. But
Was it the first? Hold on. Is Steven, let's see if Steven can interact. If not,
that first one.
It was the Right Track Inn.
Yeah. Hold on. Speaking of the Right Track Inn,
Hello.
There he is.
Yes, there he is.
What's happening?
are you representing the Right Track Inn?
I am. You know what? I'm representing Long Island Heavy today.
Where was Right Track Inn? Was that Freeport?
Freeport.
It was right across from a crematorium.
Yes.
let me see if I can find that. If I can find that.
Such
Right.
great shows there,
Yeah.
man. Such
Yeah.
great shows.
Steven, any Lou, anything to share?
There's I can't say enough. So I just gonna really just say how much he meant to me and to everybody, and just how heavy this was, and just I have nothing but amazing memories of him, and how much that band means to me.
All
Really,
of us.
Yeah. I think what made Lou so special was he genuinely took an interest in people's lives. He genuinely thought of his fans as friends. He remembered your name. He remembered details. He supported your bands, your business, your art, whatever it was. He was all in. He loved people, and it was just so authentic. And that kind of connection it's just really rare. It's more than just being a friendly person,
It's
100%.
a great point, Lori, because one thing that I remember from the memorial that we attended, which was, if you want to know if there's crying in hardcore, you should have been there. But, Davey Havoc from AFI was there, and he spoke. He was one of the people who eulogized Lou. And so he told a story about very early AFI opening for Sick of It All. And he said the one thing that happened that will always stay with him was that Lou, who was the singer of one of his favorite bands, he loved Sick of It All, came up to him, little, Davey Havoc, he quoted himself as a nobody, opening for Sick of It All, and introduced himself. And he said he made him feel like he belonged. And that at the end of the day, that was something that he carried with him as a frontman and as a band member moving forward, that you do have to be cool to everybody. And, at the end of the day, you're all in it together, and opening band, headliner, whatever, and just really had this impression that was left on him. And that was an incredible thing that he said.
I want to acknowledge and shout out a couple people that are stopping by. One, Don Fury in the house.
Yeah.
What's up, Donnie? I hope things are well up in Troy. And also I want to shout out, of course, Hoya down in Florida, saying, "Forget Mount Rushmore. Lou is on the Mount Olympus of this thing of ours."
Yeah.
And I think that's fair to say. I was thinking about, which I do every now and then as I drift off and stare off into space, like the Mount Rushmore of New York hardcore. I think there's no doubt that Lou, Sick of It All, would be on a Mount Rushmore of New York hardcore. I mean,
have to be.
Yeah, they would have to be. Yeah. So, is this? I think I got it. Hold on. Let's see. I'm learning a new
format.
Yeah, they changed it up on me. So
how dare they?
Yeah, but I'm getting the hang of it. Is this what we're talking about? Birth of Unity?
No, that's not the first show.
That's not the first show. I thought
it's an early show, but not the first show.
Really? I thought this was it.
No, the first show.
Right track in. No,
the first show was a right track in straight edge extravaganza with youth of today, straight ahead, and crippled youth before they were bold. And so Sick of It All was not originally on the show. It was booked by Craig Satari, and Craig was the one that said to those guys, "You should play the show." They said, "We're not ready." So he said, "I'm going to put your name on a new version of the flyer, because if you're not ready now, you're never going to be ready." That's the one.
Come on now.
That's the one. You could see the plus Sick of It All in there because they were added at the last minute.
I like sort of on these early Sick of It All flyers, the animation, like Stomp Hard and Calvin and Hobbes and all that.
Drawn by Tommy Carroll.
Oh, right. This is Tommy Carroll.
He was in Straight Ahead. He had those characters back in NYC Mayhem.
Right. Look at that. United We Stand. No label, no lies. Okay, I'll take the oath. Huh. Yeah.
Very straight edge fantasy, but
support the positive movement.
Yes.
You know what? Enough with the positive movement already, for Christ's sake. There has to be a balance in the galaxy. If there's good, there has to be evil.
I'll give you negative. That first Sick of It All show was terrible.
Right.
They were not good.
Shouting out Chris Contos in San Francisco. Rest in peace. He was always great to hang out with and was truly one of the greatest frontmen ever to take the stage.
Yep.
Right on.
Peace, Chris.
Ain't that the truth? Hey, Noodles, you out there? I don't see you. Let's see. Stephen, you know what's really interesting? Let's talk about this real quick. Hey, Ratbone's in the house. Sick of It All brought the hate in the most positive way.
Interesting way to look at it.
Yep. Et Howie, Et Drew, Et Lori, Et Steven, tell us about the first time you saw Sick of It All. Wow. Interesting. Good question. Let's do that.
I was at that first show, obviously. And again, people, didn't really know who they were. They had got a couple of guys in the band who lasted about 10 minutes who, weren't musicians. and it was just, like a sloppy hardcore mess as to be expected. But I forgot what cover song. Maybe Devil remembers. They did a cover song, and then people started to dance and sing along with them. But it was just like a very typical band's first show, where super rough, and wasn't very memorable, except for the fact that they played, but they were friends with everybody else on the bill. So that's how that happened. And it started to improve as they did more Right Track In shows. And
they were like, it was like they were grandfathered in, right? It was
absolutely
like back then. And now too, listen, all this back then shit is bullshit, because it's all happens now with new people. But when back then, this template just gets laid onto the next generation. So back then or now, bands get grandfathered in. A lot of times bands are formed from sort of people within the scene, and instantly, there's like, they have a little crowd because it's basically like all the people that hang out anyway.
Well, that's AF's story, right? They sort of met on the dance floor.
Yeah, right.
And then and Stigma goes up to you one day and says, "You want to be in my band?"
Steven, do you remember Sick of It All first time?
Absolutely. My first Sick of It All show was at Sundance, and it was, I believe, 88, and it was Sick of It All, Raw Deal, Nuclear Assault. And we've actually shown pictures from that early on in this show. I bought the original white Sick of It All t-shirt from the back of their car that night. And, that was just, I had heard of them, but I hadn't seen them until that point.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that was mine too, Steven.
Was it? Same show?
Yeah, Sundance.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was Sundance. I remember it was like probably about a year after the record store closed. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think the first time that, they kind of came on my radar screen in the early 90s when I was getting back into the music video game, early on when I think when Paris and I did the Biohazard I think Howie, like in 91, 92, maybe going into 93, when you talked about Biohazard, you almost talked about Sick of It All, and vice versa. It's like both bands were sort of leading the charge that year out of New York City. And in a lot of ways, these are two bands that had a lot in common, but had a lot different too.
100%.
And very different, the way it sort of Biohazard conducted business and was out on the road, and the way that Sick of It All did. And I'm not saying good or bad, I'm just saying different. And so I think the first time Sick of It All really came on my radar screen in a big way was, I think, when we sort of did the Biohazard Punishment video or stuff leading up to that, because I was we were doing this video and we were seeing them play live, and we were going out and we were seeing what's out there, and I was sort of getting reacclimated to what was going on in New York City in 1992.
Yeah, well, they the Biohazard video was 93, right? That was when you did. And then I remember as early as 90, 91, I started to see the Biohazard guys at Sick of It All shows.
Yeah.
And so even on the In Effect video with AF, Sick of It All, and Gorilla Biscuits, Billy and Evan are on the side of the stage watching them, and they bring out the American flag like during AF and all this stuff. But you see like Billy and Evan like almost like studying them in a weird way, like and both bands like notorious for like spinning a lot, like Pete does.
There was a friendly rivalry there, legit.
Oh yeah,
and that's fine. There was nothing wrong with that. It was young people playing music and and like challenging each other. There's
well, then they toured together. They eventually toured together. And they pushed each other, on stage. That was the thing. So whoever went on first, because it was like sort of a co-headlining thing. Whoever went on first made whoever went on last better.
This is interesting. Beer Crafted says, I saw them at Bogart's in Cincinnati in 1991 on the New Titans on the Block tour opening for Sepultura, Sacred Reich, and Napalm Death. Sick of It All fucking crushed that night. I think a lot of people were exposed to Sick of It All initially on that New Titans on the Block tour. I think that really put them out there. That makes sense, right, Lori?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and DRI they went across the country with too, and DRI was massive at the time, and it was between the I guess it was after the Crossover album, but before the Four of a Kind album, and so they were drawing really well too. But I was working with Sick of It All at the time when we got the call from Sepultura saying we're going to do this tour, and we have Sacred Reich on the tour, we have Napalm Death on the tour, and all of whom were fans. Like Sepultura were fans back in Brazil of like the Revelation Sick of It All stuff, and they said we want to take Sick of It All across the country, and they were like a metal band that everybody really respected. And you would see the Sepultura guys like wearing New York hardcore shirts, like wearing AF shirts and things like that. And they had them all in Brazil, and so they finally came over here, and what a great bill. And it really did expose Sick of It All to like what had basically become this like crossover audience, by that point. Like, people liked all four bands. Like it wasn't uncommon where like the New York hardcore bands like sort of stayed New York hardcore bands for a while back before that. And you like this or you like that,
Here's a shot of me and my brother. This is the Stone Brothers. This is the Stone Brothers and the Koller Brothers.
The Koller Brothers, yeah.
From gotta be early 90s, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. This is that. What was that? Concrete Foundations, one of those things.
It was always in LA.
Yeah, this was in New York in the Foundation's office in New York. I forgot why we were interviewing them. I think it was like one of those things, like some new music seminar thing or something,
They both worked in the mailroom at one point.
Did they?
Yes.
For Concrete?
Yes.
No shit.
With Toby.
Right.
And Toby ruined it because he would steal too many promos to sell. And then I think they all got canned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Steven, I'm sorry, Steven, you want to add anything? You got to jump? I know you're like in the middle of a family event, right?
That's okay. But no, listen, there's just, like I said, to try to put it into words is really hard. And just the one beautiful thing is that we all, so many of us know each other from going to these kind of shows and from going to see him and Sick of It All and all that. And just, it's one of those bands that created friendships and it created bonds, created other bands. And, just really a tremendous thing. And like, I made like 100-song playlist, like building up to this show. And I just been like immersing myself in it. And it's just really, I love, he's got Howie's shirt on there too.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible to try to just put into to words.
Yeah.
Just one of the ones, like sort of like Vinny Stigma, in the fact that you walk away from him and you feel like, well, this guy's always been my friend.
Yep.
And that's what he made you feel like.
100%.
Yeah, I think that was the most, like, in the days following his passing, when you scrolled through social media, one of the most common thing was like, he was my friend, he was my friend, he was my friend.
Yeah.
Just
overwhelmingly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You really created a beautiful community. So, and he never sweat the small things, he never got wrapped up in drama and things like that. He just somehow just floated above it, and everybody loved him.
And meanwhile, at the memorial, people couldn't stop, especially Armand and Craig couldn't stop calling him grumpy. He was a grumpy guy, which is true. And that's so funny. He's the guy who, like, in the van would complain about things, but never in front of fans. And you know, but he was a little grumpy. Like he'd be the guy who'd be like, they fucking were supposed to give us 20 stage waters, but they gave us 4, you know, like you know, that kind of shit. So you'd never hear about it, but he had the grump in him, you know. And his band
Maybe
members
he just had it all out on those guys, so he could be really nice to the rest of us.
in a van.
That's funny.
Now when
Funny.
now when I see Heavy Healing, it's going to hit even harder now.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. We lost 3 people from that movie already. And, you know, Laurie saw it when we only had lost 2.
Yes.
But then shortly thereafter, and we talked about Lou that night, and, you know, shortly thereafter we lost Lou, and it's sort of crazy. Like I'm wondering if we're bad luck.
Well, I think no. I think it was an important film to be made, and it's, you know, it wasn't really a film about it's a film about getting through the hard times in life with music. And, you know, and sometimes, you know, things just don't work out, but you know, but you don't fall apart before that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like music,
whatever it takes, right?
Together.
Whatever it takes. And, you know, this music we all grew up with being told that isn't fucking music, right? And, you know, every generation has that, right? Elvis wasn't music, and hardcore is not music, and whatever. And meanwhile, there's people who go through all kinds of shit, and, you know, you don't have to listen to fucking Bach or Adele, you know, to get through things. You can use really aggressive music to help you get through ailments and mental health challenges and all the shit. And just whatever it takes to get you to go to physical therapy every day if something happens to you, or whatever it is. And, you know, a lot of people use really fucking heavy music, like Sick of It All. I mean, how many times did these band members say, you know, if I had $1 for every person that came up to me and said, your band saved my life, or, you know, whatever. And it's like, that's what it's about. And people overlook this music, and it's ridiculous. And, you see it all the time. And Lou told me early on, he goes, you know, I've been all over the world, and everywhere in the world, someone's told me that, like, my music saved their life.
Yeah. And, you know, death is a very real part. Like, we're all going to face it, you know? And I think what I came away from the film is thinking that, you know, like with Alexa, she was not going to let it get her down. She was going to live right up to the very last minute. And she knew she was, no matter what, unapologetically, no matter what. And music was what helped her through it.
Yep. She names all the stuff she was listening to, and, you know, and, you know, Bad Brains was like her real go-to, and said it opened her mind up and made her happy.
Yeah.
Steven, are you frozen in that? Oh,
He moves.
that was a neat trick.
I'm the real me.
Hey, Laurie, you know what's interesting is that Sick of It All, the last show they ever played was a Women of the Pit benefit, right?
Yeah.
It was Women of the Pit and Flora from Alpha benefit. Yes.
Well, I think, was that the last American show or last ever?
American show. Yes.
Yeah, because they played in Europe their last ever show.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Yes.
Okay,
it was the last show in America. It was the last show in New York. So first and last show. This was a lot of our last show. And they made it special. It was a fan's choice. Their set list was chosen by the fans. And I think I sent that to you. Yeah. That was their
The set list.
That was there that the fans chose. And I think it was very fitting, and also, you know, says a lot about Sick of It All that it was a benefit show. They are always looking to help out their communities and stuff like that. They were always very, you know, socially conscious and stuff like that. As you know, and I think Lou really, you know, put up a lot of things in the Sick of It All stories, things happening in our communities and around the world to make people aware of what was going on, like outside your little corner of the world, you know? So, there's a shot from the DJ booth that Anne-Marie took of the crowd that night. It was a beautiful, beautiful night. They really went all out for it. And
right on.
Very special. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Steven, you got to go.
Yeah,
I'll see-
unfortunately, I do.
Have a good time, and
Yes.
thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thank all of you guys.
See you,
All right,
Steve.
take care. Hey, I want to bring on a friend of ours, a special guest. How could I? What's a good introduction for this person? He was the original bass player in Sick of It All. Played in the band for many years. He was very close. Howie knows him. We all know him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, please welcome my friend and yours, Richie Sip. What's up, man?
Hello, what's going on? Howie.
My good man.
No, Drew, thank you. Lori.
Yeah. How
I'm
you
a big
doing?
fan. I'm a big fan of your artwork, Lori.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
What's going on, everybody? Good to see your faces.
Don't give her any compliments on this show.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you something about Richie.
I'm going to ask for a raise now.
Listen, bro, I thought I talked to you about this. I have to keep these people under thumb.
You want me to be New York hard? Not gonna happen.
Let's Richie Sip. Everybody's happy to see you. Hey, May. Oh, finally, good to see you, May. She says,
Yeah.
They played in London after they played in mainland Europe. I had fights, etc. I had flights booked to see them in Cologne, but that tour was canceled. So,
Yeah.
that said, Howie, did you want to say something?
Yeah,
about
I got a good Rich story here. So some people have seen bits and pieces of this, but in the earlier days with Rich in the band, he was the sort of, when he was bored, he whipped out the video camera. And so all of the early tours that he did with the band, he filmed everything. And I'm not talking about the shows, I'm talking about the boredom of the guys in the band. And so Richie would orchestrate these insane videos. Like this was on the New Titans tour, on I think the DRI tour, right? And they're all still sitting there. And there's a Sick of It All home video that I think they used some of the footage for. Rich, is that true?
I think so. Yeah, it was all the I called it Poserama Circus of Freaks.
Right.
And it was a compilation of all my sketches that I came up with, the other guys came up with, and we put it together. And I think they used a little piece of that, in their video.
It's like sketch comedy. So like everything that you hear about rock stars doing in hotel rooms and like all this shit, Richie would create these skits. And so like they look like they're throwing something out of a hotel, window, and then they'd go outside to the bottom of the hotel and they'd be laying on a mattress that they pretended they threw out the window.
Yeah.
Like,
we pretended that Lou jumped out from the balcony, and next thing you know, he was laying in the bushes.
Right. And then
cut.
But then you started getting the other bands involved. So like you had like guys in Napalm Death in the sketches and all this stuff.
DRI.
Yes, that's right. But like I think we have to discuss what to do with these videos.
Yeah, I have a box that it was a Super 8, the mini videos about whatever how big they were, and I have a box. My mother put them in a silver box for me, a Macy's box that I think she had from the 70s, and she made sure they stayed. I had them all scattered, and she made sure they stayed safe for me. And I have them. I believe they're in my attic, which is up in this room here, and it's the whole career. All live shows. I had other people take my camera. Oh, film us tonight. So
some of the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And,
a lot
and
of
did
times
you,
it
did
was.
You, did you transfer all the footage? You have it all transferred
besides
and everything?
I loved being a musician and being in the band and writing the songs with the guys and stuff. I used to love to make Pete and Lou smile. There's something about, and I know everybody in this computer room here knows that, and I know it was always a thing for me. There was something about, oh boy, there was something about making a Koller smile. And to me, it was a big reward. I would say the stupidest, most unfunny thing, but Pete and Lou's smile would go up and their eyes would squint and they would laugh. And that was, to me, the most heartwarming feeling, more than anything going on with music, scene, or anything. If I can get them to laugh over something stupid or something actually really funny, that was a big, like a reward in my heart. It was almost like, you know, driving somewhere and getting butterflies from a bump. You know, you get that great feeling in your stomach, and you know, it was just, it was just a great feeling.
I'm
Is there-
smiling now thinking about it.
Is
Yeah,
there-
it was also a big
Hey, Richie.
reward to try to
Richie,
get
can you hear me?
Armand to laugh. That
Can
he
you
was
hear
tough.
me, Richie?
But
Richie's
You're
just
not.
rolling, man.
yeah,
Richie's
but
just
every
rolling.
once in a while I would get him and you would hear that insane laugh come out of him. And that was great. And then Pete would say, hey, you got him, you got him. You know.
Hey,
He
Richie,
always
can
made
you
me
hear
laugh
me?
too. Armand for me was a goal level. If I can make him laugh and be funnier than him or just as funny, because he was always so quick-witted, and it was, you know. But
Hey, Howie, ask him if he can hear you.
I can't hear Drew.
Oh, can you hear us though?
He can't hear me.
Oh, what happened?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All
right, hold on. Stay there. I'll be right
We'll
back.
tell you what Drew
back.
said.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Translate. Hardcore translate.
But those videos
Yeah.
are just friggin' gold. And
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
had the pleasure of like going to someone's house and like sitting down and you
Can
brought
you
the
hear me
video
now?
camera. Can you hear Drew?
No, I can't hear him. I didn't touch anything, so my hands have been here the whole time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So anyway, but these, I got to see like a lot of this stuff, like a couple of hours of it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the best things is like, you've changed. Have
Oh
I?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
like, so there would be like,
Yeah.
like a thing, like you'd see Lou. And
Yes.
Rich would be off camera saying, you've changed. And then
Yes.
you'd be like, have I? And
That-
then there would be a shot of like Lou with like long blonde hair and a beard.
Yeah, that the origin of that was I'm a huge, still to this day and back then, a big huge fan of Mighty Python, and my fantasy was I want to be in the cast of Mighty Python. I want to travel back in time.
Yeah.
So there was a sketch called Confuse-a-Cat, and Confuse-a-Cat was a company that would come to your house and help your cat not be confused anymore. And they did a lot of that stop action changing thing. So that was the concept for You've Changed, was Mighty Python Confuse-a-Cat sketch.
It was so.
will any of these videos see the light of day?
Yeah,
Will we
yeah, yeah. And well, once again, I'm gonna make these guys laugh, and that was it. Oh, there's my rat tail, and some people call it a mullet. We all have rat
bullshit?
tails.
Is
We
Mike
called it
bullshit
rat
as well?
tails in Queens. Everybody else called
Yeah.
it mullets.
Rat tails.
Das.
Yeah, there's Das, there's Pete and Lou. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there?
I think it might be Spanish. Mike might be in the background of that photo too somewhere.
Hey, let me bring another guest on.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's great.
Tell Howie.
Oh,
Tell.
we still
tell
can't hear
Richie
Drew.
Tell Richie to chill out.
We're having
We're gonna bring another guest
hardcore
on.
difficulties.
Drew says shut up because he's bringing on another guest.
Okay, I'll stop
All
right
right,
now.
here we go. I want to bring another guest on who was intricately involved with Sick of It All. He worked with them for many years in a lot of different capacities, including stage manager and equipment manager. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mike.
Ah,
There you are. Hey,
there
Noodles.
you
Oh,
are.
Noodles.
You're
Hi,
Hey,
making
Noodles.
Noodles.
Link's acting funny.
I can't hear
on me,
Noodles
man.
either. Sorry, Noodles.
me
All
and
right.
technology don't really get along, so don't take it personally.
You'll be okay. What's up,
Yeah.
Noodles? How you doing?
Better than ever, bro. Living my best life, grinding, living.
Good. Good. Could you give us some perspective on your friend Lou Koller, or give us some insight? I know you guys were very close for many years.
Yeah, I mean, what's to say that hasn't been said, but like, he was a beacon. He held his court on stage. The mosh pit was his army. You know what I mean? For a kind of soft-spoken guy, he had quite the growl. You know what I mean? He had a really big voice. Backstage, he's just kind of Lou and kind of keeps to himself and throws in his little one-liners and a sense of humor. You can't match it. He's got a very unique sense of humor. And, even with his big voice, like seeing him in the studio and seeing him live, you think he's screaming, but he's really not. He's kind of like just enunciating loud, and that carried you know, throughout the theaters and arenas and fields and wherever the hell else, little dive bars we've been in. And he gave me a life that I never thought was part of giving me life. I never thought I'd lead in my life. And I am so grateful. I'm grateful for it all. See what I did there? And yeah, that's, you know, it's really sad what happened to him. That was probably the most beautiful and sad memorial I've ever been to in my life. And through his music, he'll live forever. And that's kind of, I think, all I got, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Noodles.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit earlier about like that. A couple of people at the memorial, namely his band members, talked about how grumpy he could be. So you traveled. You traveled with him. Give us some grumpy examples.
In a hotel room, the Holiday Inn will give you a choice of a soft or a firm pillow. Whatever is this, a soft or a firm? What do I use? Soft or firm? Well, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys that, oh, it's raining out. Where's the sun? It's sunny. Where's the rain? That's kind of stuff.
Yeah,
oh, you had to love it though. You just kind of looked at him like, dude, you're living a great life, man. Why are you so grumpy all the time?
Rich, you got any grumpy stories?
Well, I don't think I have any real grumpy stories, but I always thought back, you know, especially back in the day, in the early days, of him being grumpy maybe was because, to me, he was always sort of the boss of the band. I felt he was the chief in command. He I mean, I'm sure Pete and Lou both did it together, obviously organizing and starting the band, but he always seemed to be a little out front to me back in the day, early stages. And he would get us all in line, and people would be like, oh, what's up? We're trying to be cool and have fun. Why are you so grumpy? Well, he was in charge, and he got us in line. And we would be moshing in the van just for fun. And he would also be doing it, but then he'd be the first one to like, all right, cut it out. You know, but then again, I took it as, okay, cool. You know, someone's got to be freaking level-headed. Not everybody can be plotting the next sketch, you know. So that's how I took it. But,
hey, Richie can't hear me, but ask him who came up with the Sick of It All name.
That's where it happened.
Rich, who came up with the name Sick of It All?
Well, the origin story, as far as I remember it, when I was in Lou's basement, Pete and Lou's parents' basement, was the original drummer was named Dave.
Yeah.
And he grew up in Corona. He grew up in Corona, where I grew up, Corona, Queens. And he originally said, I was thinking about calling the band Sick of All.
Right. Because he was Asian, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Asian, and I believe he grew up here. I believe he was born here, but he still had a strong accent. And Lou's like, what? Lou goes, don't you mean sick of it all? He goes, yeah, whatever. And then that was the name of the band from that day on, you know.
Default.
That was in Lou's basement, where we jammed on. The first song was called Jamming on a G, because all we knew was a G chord. So that's all we knew. And Armand told us that we were jamming on a G because
you didn't know,
because he was the only person who knew how to play instruments.
What was Armand the most musically inclined guy in the
it was
band
fun.
in the beginning?
That was great. You know, in the early stages, the early days was great. I met those guys. I don't know if I have time for another origin story.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell
Okay.
me.
The origin story of meeting them was a guy named Mike Sankowitz. I don't know how he knew Mike Sankowitz.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike Sankowitz, he grew up in Flushing, Queens also.
Was he in Raw Deal for a minute?
I think he might have been Raw Deal for a minute. He was also in the New York Hoods for a minute.
Yes.
And he introduced, I was the first day of high school where we're walking up, a friend of mine, we're walking up to go to our first day of high school in Flushing. And we see him, and he has a Sodom jacket painted on the back of his denim jacket, the album for one of Sodom's early records. So instantly we made friends with this guy. Next thing you know, it, this guy is inviting us to, oh, you got to come hang out at these cool guys I know in Flushing. They play metal music all time in their basement. You got to come and meet them. You'll love them. They're great guys. Next thing you know, it we were in Pete Lou's basement with their brother Matt, their brother Steve, and instantly, Lou and Pete, instantly, we were great friends. Like I knew them for like 1,000 years. It was no standoffishness and no who is this jerk or this a-hole. It was just like instant cool. I mean, of course we ribbed each other, but it was instant friendship from that day, first hangout. And then Mike Sanko was kind of like drifted out of the picture a little bit. And then next thing you know it, I was jamming with Rob Cheveria in my basement in Corona. And we were trying little band ideas. Next thing you know it, Pete called me up one day and he's like, I was playing guitar at the time. He said, I want you to do what you do on guitar. I want you to do on bass. We need a bass player. I'm like, I'm in.
I think
And that was it. And I was in the second show at the Right Track Inn that Steve mentioned earlier. Everybody mentioned earlier. I was in the audience for the first show, and Mike Sankowitz actually turned to me and he goes, this bass player will probably be out of this show. After this show, he'll be out of the band and you'll probably be playing. I'm like, what? And the next show I was on stage with them. So it was like a dream come true for me. So
Spiky
that
asks,
was a little origin story right there for you.
hey, do me a favor, Howie.
Yeah.
Tell Richie I'm going to kick him off, and then he should sign back on so I can hear him. All right.
Okay.
Tell him.
So Rich.
Why, you don't want to play
Yes.
telephone, Drew?
Yeah, Lou's gonna Lou. We're talking a lot about Lou. So Drew, which rhymes with Lou, is gonna kick you off right now, but you're gonna
Okay.
come back on and you'll probably be able to hear him.
Okay.
Hey, Noodles.
What's up?
Spiky asks, how did Noodles hook up with them?
I linked up with them through starting to. I was working the Black and Blue Bowl with my friend JR, John Jensen. Both of us were working the stage with Royce and Warren. And by working, I mean we worked for a Madball t-shirt. They took actually JR's number, and months down the line, they had a tour coming up with Dropkick Murphys, the Horror Pops, and the Tossers, the St. Patrick's Day tour. And they called JR because, I mean, why would you take my number and call me? I'm fucking crazy. But anyway, they needed a drum tech and a guitar tech. And I'm actually a drummer. I know about 3 chords on the guitar, but I know how to change strings. Just like many Sick of It All roadies, I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm like, sure, I can do that. Make it until you make it, bro. So we did that tour, and then they probably thought JR was going to be the one they got, and they got stuck with my fish-faced fucking maniac ass for fucking 17 years, 16 years, or whatever it was. So, yeah, and then from there, I just kind of, started doing drum tech and bass tech, and then, kind of stage management role. And then eventually, here and there, I got later in years, I got roped into tour managing, which I was completely against, but I guess I really didn't have a choice. And yeah, that's kind of how that happened. I went on that Dropkick tour. I took 2 weeks off from my shitty supermarket job that I hated, and I took 2 weeks off. They were really mad taking 2 weeks off in a row, and I never went back.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow.
I love that picture.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh, that's great.
Oh shit, Joe Strummer.
Huh.
Yeah, I forgot what festival that was at in Europe, but they were sort of amazed that Joe watched them.
Right.
That they sort of like looked over at one point, and separately, Pete and Lou realized that Joe Strummer was standing there watching them. He was probably doing like a Mescaleros show at the same festival, because it certainly wasn't the Clash. And, they were just like, fucking Joe Strummer's watching us, like they whispered to each other.
Yeah.
They had similar experiences with like Tom Araya.
Sure.
And like,
Sure.
they would just look over and be like, holy fuck, Tom Araya.
I got one for you. Anybody out there, do you know what the all-time greatest Lou Koller photo is? Put it in the chat room. What's the all-time greatest Lou Koller photo?
How do you do that?
It's
Oh yeah, D. Snyder.
Oh,
Not the photo, but
yeah. Does anybody know the great Lou Koller photo with the other great musical artist? This one's always great.
oh
You see
wait.
if it's a great one. It's one of the ones you go, yeah.
Oh,
Don't say it.
I think I know.
Say that. I'll give you
I
the
think I
clue.
know.
It's almost as great as the youth of today.
Danny Luther.
What's his name? G.G. Allen.
Oh yeah.
It's almost as great as the G.G. Allen youth of today picture.
That's a good one.
Come on, people. Yep.
Huh.
we'll come up with it.
All right. I'll give it another minute, and then I'm going to.
I think I know, but I'll leave it.
New kids. No, not new kids.
Although
Hey,
that
Drew.
would be great.
Hey, D. Snyder actually freaking loved them.
Right.
They gave us side stage access on their. We were doing a festival with them, and their manager came over like to Pete and was like, "You guys gotta come side stage and watch us." Blah blah blah. And we were on the side of the stage being idiots and moshing around, and bass player was Mark the Animal was coming over, and the guy broke like 3 basses. The guy plays with his fucking punching a bass. We watched him shred through like 3 basses, and it was such a phenomenal fucking experience. I mean, Long Island represent fucking, you know,
Yeah.
I'm all about that. And yeah, that was an amazing time.
Is it Metallica? No.
No.
Is it the Warriors? No. Is it KRS? No. Is it Zach Wild? Is it KRS? Is it Zach Wild? No. Is it? Well, it's Bushwick Bill.
There it is.
Oh, that was at South by South. That was at South by Southwest. I think Red 7 or the outdoor state. One of those outdoor venues in Austin, Texas, was South by Southwest.
This is like one of those
conference.
great shots that just make you laugh every time you see
So
it. You
good.
know?
Yo, Armand, he actually exchanged numbers with Armand, and Armand was too scared to ever call him.
Let me get Richie back. Richie sit back on too. Hey, Richie, can you hear me?
Hello there. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear all y'all.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Okay, we're
Yay.
back.
Watching
we're
from my
back.
balcony in the Philippines. Well,
Oh,
hell
wow.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah. Long live the revolution.
Yeah.
You know what? I got sent a couple of Lou cards. Here's in no particular order here. I'll start with this. Hold on. Image file.
Wait, didn't Sporty Spice have a thing for Lou?
Did she?
I'm not kidding. Somebody just posted, I'm sure there's a photo with Sporty Spice, and for some reason, I remember hearing that maybe she had a little thing for him.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, there's the well, that's a lot to deal with, man.
Yeah.
I'd be
Sporty Spice. They definitely would have written about that in Hello magazine in England if it was true.
Yeah.
Or false.
Yep. There's a sick of it all card. There's a couple. A brand new one for today, huh? Okay.
Mm.
Let me see the back. Here you go.
Yeah, this is Josh from Hardcore Legends Trading Cards.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I love these cards.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Yeah. Yep.
He just put together his first set of
Yeah.
cards, and they're sold out already.
That's great.
Yeah.
David Lamb. Was that the first drummer's name?
Yep.
Richie?
Yep.
David
Yep.
Lamb.
That was David Lamb. Yep.
David
I think he ended
Lamb.
up becoming. I think he ended up becoming a Marine.
He also became something else, Rich. What did
Where
What
is
was
David
that?
Lamb? Bring me the head of David Lamb.
Rich, what did he
Yeah.
become also as a human being?
I'm drawing a blank.
Well, let's just say he was Asian and a very big Screwdriver fan.
Oh my
Whoa.
God, that's right.
Very
Yeah.
strange. Very strange.
Yeah, that was strange. Yes, I remember him coming with the oxbloods and the suspenders, and yeah.
Asian white power skinhead.
That I do
Range.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember thinking. I don't remember him going fully that way, but wow, yeah.
Well, I've heard that he did.
Skinhead fantasy.
Well, more power to him. I don't know. I don't want him to hurt me. I still like him.
What did you post before? I don't know, John, what you're talking about. I love when people have conversation, expect me to understand what they're talking about. I posted it before. What did you post before?
Devil is confirming the white power skinhead thing.
Wow.
I'm just so confused by that still.
I think so is he.
Yeah. Well, he was sick of all.
He was sick of all.
There you go.
I'm so confused by the white power skinhead thing.
Yeah.
Here's another
All
one.
right, stop with the first album and spell screwdriver right, by the way.
Howie.
It's annoying.
Yep. There you
That's
go.
nice.
All right. Well, thanks, Josh.
Good one. Yeah, thank you.
And I'm glad the first set of cards have sold out. That's cool.
Yeah. He does such a
Yeah.
good job with research and everything. It's great. So
What's this, Josh? Josh sent me this. I'm not sure exactly what this pertains to. East Pack was in 2004 last year. All right. You went to, there he is. Sick of it all, 7 seconds, the bones. All right.
Walls of
Oh, that-
Jericho.
Oh, slap shot too.
Nice.
All right.
Very nice.
Paul Stone says Asian white power skins are just deranged. Kind of weird.
I'm so sick of all.
Yeah. I'm sick of it all.
No.
That
No,
said,
no.
hey, let me. I guess we lost Noodles somewhere along
Yeah,
the line.
I don't know where Noodles. Where's
Noodles.
Hey, let me take a sponsor break, and Richie, you're welcome to hang out. We're gonna just talk to people and take some questions from around the world, and we'll see who
Sure.
else.
Yeah, I would.
who else shows up.
If that's cool, yeah, try to
Yeah,
get some more
of course
origin
it's
stories
cool.
for you. So.
We'll
Yeah.
see you back here in a couple minutes, okay?
Okay. Bye bye.
Howie, Lori, I'll see you back here in a couple minutes.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Today, we're paying homage to our friend, Lou Koller from Sick of It All. So lots going on. A couple more special guests. Chance to share your memories with one of the all-time greats, Lou Koller. So let me get my sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that, but the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone.
And we're back. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Hey, I want to mention a couple of upcoming shows. Next up, 1 week from today, Sunday, September 6th, Ron Bumblefoot Thal will be on the show. New Jersey represent. Bumblefoot's been around a minute. He's done a lot of stuff, including he played with Guns N' Roses for a while. So Ron's on 1 week from today. Then we got Woody Weatherman from Corrosion of Conformity on Sunday, September 20th. Then Pat Flynn on Sunday, October 4th. Pat Flynn from Have Heart, Fiddlehead, and How Much Art. And then, of course, Wednesday, October 7th, we got Bill Ward from Black Sabbath on the show for our landmark 450th episode. So lots going on here. So tune in next week. That said, let me bring on Lori, Howie, Noodles, Richie. Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey,
connection again.
You know what was a good one actually? When this is a good shot. When I directed the Road Less Traveled video. That's what this is from. There you are in the back, Noodles, all the way in the back. Yeah.
That was great. That was a great time, man. Oh, what a great day.
Yeah, it was a great video, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's a great video.
Usually shooting music videos for a band are like a total pain in the ass. I mean, maybe the band thinks a little different, but I thought it was a fucking party.
Yeah,
it was great.
It looked like it was. Yeah.
It was great.
So, and also May, who's in the chat room, was in the video as well. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What up, May?
There you go. That's from that day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Richie, people are asking why you left the band. Can he hear any of us?
Hey, Richie, can you hear me?
I only hear you.
Richie, can you hear me?
All right, fair enough. Joe T's asking, why did Richie leave the band?
Short story, because I was an a-hole. Long story, not going to get into it.
Hindsight is 2020, isn't it?
The Pete Best of hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that would get Howie. Sorry, I can't hear you, Howie, but I know what you're thinking. We're on the same page over there, Queens.
Yeah. Someone asked, I think it was Ray Hogan in a couple of comments back, was asking like what we thought Lou's best off-stage trait was. And, I want to answer that simply by just saying his humanity. Like Lou was just this great human being. Like he was this salt of the earth person who was able to bring that into his band and into hardcore, and the sort of the communal aspect of this thing, and the friendship part of this thing, and the being good to people part of this thing. Recording the EP with Richie, were you on this? I forget.
Richie, were you on this?
Where is that and what is it?
Don Fury's recording We Stand Alone.
Don Fury recording.
No, this was Eddie Cohen and
no, I think I was on one version of it, but I don't remember recording it there.
Yeah. I think wasn't that EK and Eddie Cohen?
And Eddie Cohen, yeah.
No, EK, yeah, that's right. Eddie Cohen, yeah. EK,
yeah. Eddie Cohen was in the band for a minute too, and that was that recording. Pre Armand and post Richie.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, just Lou the person was as good
There's
as
John. Yo, devil. What's up?
so that's my answer to that. I don't know if everybody else wants to. If Lori, you have a
No,
what you thought about him off stage.
Oh, Don
Yeah,
Fury says.
I mean-
Don Fury says, "Holy shit, I want that picture."
Oh, there's Don. Wow. Haven't seen that guy in 1,000 years.
I got you, Don. Reach out to me, Don. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I think I had said before, he just seemed to care about a lot of social issues. And he was just a huge support of whatever anybody was doing. He was a huge support of Women of the Pit. He was a huge support of, personally of, my art. And, every time I had like a new piece or something, there would always be like little clappy hands from him. And I miss that. And I think a lot of us are going to very much miss that, that support that he gave us. And, there was also a huge part of his life too that, we weren't involved in. And, he was his father's son and, his brother's brothers and, he was a father himself. And, in thinking of all of this, we really have to, respect their privacy and honor that part of his life as well. What they must be going through is just tenfold, really, of anything that we're going through right now. So
Yeah, he's an animal guy.
Loved animals.
Loved animals and supported that. And a friend of mine who was also a kid from Queens, hardcore guy named Peter Nussbaum, has a great animal sanctuary up in I forget the town, Montague, New Jersey, like sort of near Port Jervis. And I know that Lou used to go up there and bring Aurelia up there and to see the animals, and now she wants to be a vet.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So, and of course, our hearts go out to his family and to Aurelia.
She's been around.
I'll always be praying for that kid. Yeah.
I'd like to say that for me, and you mentioned this, Lori, about we knew sort of the professional person, and I want to say also like that to me, I worked with Lou and with Sick of It All a couple of times through the years, and I just want to say that it was always a very professional and pleasurable experience. And I can't say that about working with everybody. But working with Sick of It All, I directed a couple music videos, and through the years we did stuff together. Sick of It All was always a really classy organization that acted honorably and righteously, and they treated me that way, and I'll always carry that, because like I said, not everybody in this business acts like that. And here's a shot of me interviewing Lou for the New York Hardcore Chronicles film, back in the day, but always treated me very professionally, and I really appreciated that about him and about the band.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't say that about everybody, and I don't want to mention any names. But
Be better not to.
But Sick of It All was always very righteous with me, man. They always treated me very, very honorably and very righteously. So I really appreciate that, And I said this to him many times. Like he was just one of the greatest frontmen in any genre, not just in hardcore. I mean, not just talking about fucking hardcore here. I mean, I always, and I'll die on this hill. I always felt like, Lou Koller was one of the greatest frontmen I've ever seen in any genre, not just hardcore or punk. That guy, I've seen that guy really entertain the masses, and he was great.
His energy, the way he connected with the audience, the way he got everybody riled up. Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah. It was nothing like it.
Yeah. So can't believe it took me now to get the book. I bought it the day Lou passed. Anybody have anything? If anybody has anything they'd like to share, a little something, put it up in the chat room, and we'll talk about it now. Any thoughts, any memories, anything you'd like to put out there? A couple words. Let's talk about. Look at this one, Howie. I had this in the art. Oh, oops, a little small. Hold on. Sick of it all at the Marquee.
Oh yeah, more than once.
They played more than once at the Marquee.
Yeah, there was the BDP show.
Oh yeah, right.
And then there was just a headline show. So
right.
I'm trying to see which one this was. I don't remember the date, but they did the show with Boogie Down Productions, which was just epic. And they had obviously KRS-One on the first album, and then he did like an update for the 25 album, and that was an interesting thing too. And I think at that time it felt like what Sick of It All did and what hip hop was doing in New York was so similar. Like it was just both, like it was street music, it was youth music, and they found out basically that they were like rehearsing in the same building or something, if I'm not mistaken. Richie may be able to chime in on this. And then like one of Pete and Lou's brothers, like girlfriend, worked in that studio and told them that KRS-One was in the next room, and they wound up getting together, and he was sort of shocked to find out that they were fans, and this whole thing happened. I don't know if Richie can hear me, so he may know better about how they actually connected with KRS-One.
Hey, Richie, do you know the story as to how they connected with KRS-One?
I believe, from what I remember, of their brother Steve had a person that he knew over at the studio where they used to, KRS-One did all his studios. I'm forgetting where it was, where he used to do all the recordings.
Apparently it
And
was in Queens.
one thing led to another. Hey, can you do us a favor? And next thing you know, we were in the studio with KRS-One. That's what I remember. That's the origin I remember of. It was a connection, I believe, through their brother Steve. Had someone who worked there.
I never met any of their other brothers.
Oh, their brother Matt and their brother Steve, both, once again, Koller angels that I would love to make laugh as much as I could.
He was the road manager at one point.
Oh, yeah?
He was the road manager.
Great guys.
He had to dole out the $75 a show they got on the DRI tour.
Wow.
And then Matt, we have to shout out Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt is a fucking saint.
Yeah.
And Lou lived with Matt for roughly 2 years, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So that it was easier for him to get to treatment when he was going through treatment. And then when they decided that hospice care was going to be the route, he decided he has to do it at my home. And so Matt had Lou in his home, in a bed in his own room, for hospice care, and insisted that it be done there. And
wow.
He lived with him and his wife for 2 years.
Yes.
Wow.
And that is
unbelievable. The selflessness is incredible.
It's really hard to wrap your head around something like this when someone close to you passes away. And in this case, it was it happened fast. And listen, I mean, having been through a couple things, I mean, it's incredibly tragic when somebody passes that young. And it's one thing when you're dealing with somebody who's lived a real full life and you're sort of grappling with it. But when you deal with somebody who's gone too early, it's really hard. And then those of us that have dealt with situations where people have passed very young, it's an incredible tragedy. And I will say that in Lou's case, he definitely left an echo and he left a ripple in this life, and that's incredibly commendable. And his art will speak for itself and will resonate for years. And he's one of the all-time greatest. So I want to read a couple of things. Tobias White, 3829 says, 1,000 miles away from home on tour, Lou took time out of his day to come sing on my, at the time, new band's demo. Demo. That says a lot. Heroes
Yeah.
ain't always dickheads. Lou is just a wonderful human. And then New York City Dom Drum says, first only time I met Lou was at the final Sick of It All show in New York, the benefit by Women of the Pit. I had arms full of merch that I picked up for friends and myself. I got to meet Lou. He was a genuine person, extremely kind. He even apologized to Elena when he gave her a hug for being all sweaty after he just gotten off stage. LOL. Those are the only photos I ever got to take with him. It's kind of funny looking because of the amount of merch I'm holding in my arms. Never would have thought, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Maybe that was in the last time. Yeah.
Lou was there for many of mine. Yeah.
You know, look, Drew, if I may,
Yeah.
you know, and I've hesitated like to put anything online about this at all, but you know, I did a book with Pete and Lou, and basically, you know, somebody just posted something about it. So obviously, this lives on with their music, their words about their lives and growing up and forming Sick of It All and being in the band. But there's an audiobook. And people seem to really appreciate the audiobook. And we had to really fight for them to be able to read it themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, of course, the publisher was like, oh, we'll get a professional reader. They'll do it faster, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then Jerry Farley came out of the woodwork and said, I want to record this. And so he basically did the audiobook. And it's great to hear their voices because it's not like like a strict, you know, thing. You hear them laughing and you hear them fucking up and you hear them, you know, making fun of themselves. And it's really kind of a fun thing. So again, I hesitated to say anything about it because I don't want people to think it's about selling something. But if you would buy one of their albums, it's another thing that you might want to have in your collection. Because ultimately, you know, it's them reading it. So I encourage the audiobook.
I have to give that a listen if it's them.
Yeah.
If it's them reading it. That's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to do that too.
Yeah, and ask Richie if he read the book. He's in the book.
Hey, Richie, have you read the Sick of It All book?
The Pete and Lou book?
I lived it.
Right.
Did you read the book though?
No, I haven't read the whole thing, but I did do a behind the scenes thing with them that was pretty fun. I was so grateful to help them. It was like a bonus footage that I don't know if it's still available, but me, Pete and Lou, all we did was talk about the old stories and it was just us laughing. It was Jerry Farley, he recorded it. He was in the background recording us. We did it by, I guess, via Zoom. And he was just laughing the whole time in the background. And it was just great old stories, inside jokes. It was amazing. I don't know if that's like a thing that's still available, but if you can, that is amazing to listen to. It's great.
Is that true? Did they want Vincent Price to do the book?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Oh, yeah.
Or
we
James
want Vincent Price to read our book.
James Earl Jones would have been good.
Yeah. Scott Helland says, Guitar Mania 1, Sick of It All film stepped down in my rehearsal studio. They brought in a metal trained for the camera and had 20 or so kids making a pit in the room that was like 15 by 17 feet.
Wow.
All right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Can we get Richie on for a full Richie interview? Sure.
Yes.
That's been asked a few times.
I think I'm available.
Are you available? Yeah.
No. Yes.
May says he was the kindest friend. He was looked out. He looked out for me the whole of our friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they had a long friendship.
Oh yeah.
Lou Koller to me always. I always thought of Lou Koller like the same way I would think of like in Hollywood like who am I thinking of, like Gregory Peck, or like a handsome Hollywood actor. Like I always
like
thought
that
of
hair and everything.
I always thought of Lou as like he had leading man like like Gregory Peck, or who else am I thinking
he
of?
was
Like,
he was the Clark Gable of hardcore.
yeah, Clark Gable. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was a good one.
The Clark
That's good.
Gable. The Clark
good.
Gable.
Yeah. And I have to say, he had great hair right up to the ends. And that was
Yeah.
something that made me very
Yeah.
happy because I knew that he probably was very happy.
Sure.
Oh, he was when we went to interview him. Actually, Drew, I sent you the photo, the portrait that Jamie York took of him. That was the day.
Where did you send those to me? I can't.
I texted them to you earlier
All right.
today.
Let me go ahead.
There's a photo so Jamie did a full portrait shoot with him after we filmed him for Heavy Healing. And so, his hair was gray. And obviously the whole time he was in the band, his hair was never gray. So he goes, the secret is out. I dye my hair, and that was the thing. And like Lou did dye his hair, but he eventually, he let those photos get out of him being completely gray. We're also hoping with the film, we have a lot of footage of him. His interview is probably 2 hours, and we probably use 6 or 7 minutes of him in the movie. And so we're trying to figure out what we can do. We're going to probably edit a piece, like a longer piece of his interview for his family. We'll give it to his family first, and then we'll see if maybe they will give us the blessing to maybe make it available to fans.
I love that. I love that you'll go to the family first.
Yeah, it has to. It has to. We did that for Eddie with his sisters, and Alexa. We gave it to the daughter, and so we want to do something like that, and give it to the brothers and the dad, and obviously his daughter, and then see if maybe we can do something with it. Where people can sort of enjoy him talking about it, because at the time he had just been told, he was 4 days removed from being told he was in remission. So that's where he ends in the movie. And so that happens. And then I don't know if anybody subscribes to Cream these days. Cream is back.
Wow.
And so they hit me up one day, Fred Pissarro, the editor, and said, man, we got to do something for Lou. And I said, okay. He's like, do you think he'll do an interview, like updating his health thing, because he had been re-diagnosed? So I approached Lou, and he's like, sure. So I did a new interview with him. There's the portrait that Jamie took. He's wearing the Alexa shirt. And he updated what was going on with his health. And so, if you subscribe to Cream, it's a subscription-only thing. You can read that story. I'm going to see if I can get them to let me put it up like in its entirety, because they're very careful about that. But there's a full update of like him having just been told that cancer was back, and he tells the story. And the last line of the article is "to be continued." That's what it says. And so the week it came out and got to subscribers, he passed away. Yeah.
Esophageal cancer is just an absolute insidious disease. It's very difficult to diagnose early, and unfortunately it does progress very quickly, much like pancreatic cancer.
Yep.
So
that's what got Alexa.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
That's tough. Howie, any memories that you could lay on us about doing the book with the Koller brothers? Anything that sticks out?
Yeah, I feel a little bit like Richie must have, being around them as much as he was in close quarters, because I don't even know how many times I interviewed Pete and Lou for the book, like 25 times. And Lou was in Jersey, and Pete was in Florida, and it was during COVID. And so this was what we did during COVID, is we got on the phone with each other for hours on end, and we just fucking laughed our asses off as we remembered stories. So in some cases, I was reminding them about things that happened to them, and letting them know for the very first time, which was interesting, that I had seen them a whole bunch of times before I'd ever properly met them. We probably met on the sidewalk in front of C's because we had a lot of mutual friends like Danny Loker and things like that. And so, you're in between bands on the sidewalk, and we finally got introduced. But what would happen is I would get on the train when I was living in Queens at 179th Street, which was the first stop of the E and the F train. And I would go to the matinee, and like those guys would be on in Flushing. And somehow the train car I would get in was lined up with where the train car that they would get in was, like when you got to Flushing, Main Street. And so they would get on, like the whole alleyway crew. Unbeknownst to me, there was this thing called the alleyway crew. And you're all wearing the shirts or whatever of the bands, and you give the like, I know where you're going. And they give me the like, I know where you're going. And we never said a word to each other. We didn't speak. And it would be like 10 of them, and either just me and one of my friends. And, I would see them to go into CB's matinees. I would see them going, to the Ritz. And occasionally I'd see them going to Lemoore, and things like that. And that's a really fucking long ride all the way out to Brooklyn. So that would happen. And I finally got to tell them that like we'd see each other like a couple of times, before we ever met. And just all the reminiscing and all the things, and, having put out their first record and everything, and getting to work with them in so many capacities, and getting to like actually talk about it. Because like you would just do things, you wouldn't discuss it. And I finally would be like, oh, let me tell you how you got the Exodus tour. And they would be like some little secret thing, and they wouldn't know how it happened. That like Relativity would threaten Exodus with tour support. Like, we're not giving you tour support unless you take out our band Sick of It All. Because they're gonna like expand their, audience. And so because they got on tour with Exodus, they did like 6 shows with them or something like that. And nobody at those shows knew who they were. And, they wound up liking them. And then DRI offers them, and suddenly the promoters across the country know who Sick of It All is because they toured with Exodus. And then, Sepultura calls, and, so you're getting this exposure that was incredible. And it was like in the metal mags and all the hardcore, fanzines, and it was all over the place, and college radio. And like suddenly they had this life, and it was weird. It was like sort of a bartering thing with Exodus, where it was basically, you can't have tour support unless you take them. Yeah. And we put out We Stand Alone, was the second, in effect, Sick of It All release.
Don Fury just sent that to me.
It's great. I love that EP. I love how raw
it's a great shot.
Yeah. Don, what's up, Donnie? He just sent that to me.
Yeah, the energy, incredible.
Yeah.
On that record.
So good, good stuff there. Any other memories out there, please? Don't be shy. Let them fly. Put it in the chat room. A little something. It's a great record. That was a good one. All that merch. Remember all that great Sick of It All merch, like in the early '90s? They had like they were bold. They had like the Yankees logo on the shit.
I refused to wear it because of the fucking Yankee logo.
Oh, and right now the Yankees are beating the Red Sox 16-1. Somebody just posted that in. I think Tom posted that.
Yeah, that was. I remember having a ton of that Sick of It All shit with like Yankee logos on it.
Oh yeah, I have some of the old original stuff that we silk screened in Pete and Lou's mom's basement. I still have it in my drawer amongst all my other black T-shirts. Still have it. I have one that was original, and it was a mistake. I think Pete moved the silk screen a little bit, and it was off register. I kept it.
Right. Yeah.
Ask Richie about like where did they come to use the Calvin and Hobbes imagery?
Oh, Richie, where did the Calvin and Hobbes sort of imagery come from?
I was a huge fan of Calvin and Hobbes, and I had a collection book that had it was like a you used to get it at Barnes and Nobles. It was a collection of all the the Calvin and Hobbes collection strips, and there was a picture of Calvin trying to play baseball, I think to get along with his dad or something, and he couldn't hit the ball. So I drew that picture back in the day with a pencil and a piece of paper, and and instead of the baseball, I put the world. I put the world in it, like if Calvin was sick of it all, and I showed it to Lou, and we used it for the first demo. But after a while, Lou was like, I think we might get sued. So Lou changed Calvin a little bit, and he altered Calvin to kind of be his own version,
You know,
which was
you know,
amazing.
Sick of It All kind of like danced on the precipice of copyright infringement when you between Calvin and Hobbes and the New York Yankees. I guess if you're gonna do something like that, I mean, it's sort of like, yo, fuck it, like like it's kind of flattering if they come after us.
Yeah. As soon as I see the version that Lou drew, I always think of that conversation him and I had, and I'm like, no one's gonna sue, no one's gonna even notice. But every time I see it, I think of that conversation with him and I. Every time.
What's worse?
John Turner.
Go ahead.
John Turner, one of the point men in the Alleyway crew initially, if not the point man, says, I got the Yankees Alleyway Dragon tattooed to my ankle for the first Japanese tour, and I don't even like spectator sports.
That's John, right?
Yeah.
You know what's worse? When a kid kills somebody wearing the shirt and he's in the fucking paper, as that kid did in Massachusetts, and it's all over the place. The Yankee logo, Sick of It All shirt. And like, what a horrible time.
It's always a band's worst nightmare. God forbid, like some guy gets arrested for some horrific crime, and your band shirt here, it's like, oh no, he's wearing a Sick of It All shirt,
and exposing the Yankee logo.
Oh, how he's talking about the Virtuoso guy?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Is that what it was? He was wearing the Yankee logo?
Yes.
Shirt?
Yeah.
Oh.
How he's talking about the Virtuoso guy, the violin guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Pizza Machine 4193 says, I met Lou in 1997 outside of the Birch Hill before the Misfits show. He was so genuine and approachable. Before that, I was going to concerts where you were so far from the band. It was really special.
That's really cool. There was another story in Women of the Pit. A woman who had joined, I think it was the Marines. She had gone to a Sick of It All show. She met them at the merch table. Then she went off to the Marines. Her friend went to another Sick of It All show, mentioned that she was now overseas, and Sick of It All actually put together a care package for her and sent it to her. And I mean, that's just like incredible, it's like one of my favorite stories that I've read out of this, that they're putting together care packages for, fans.
And I think a lot of the Asian inspired stuff with Sick of It All was Lou. I think that was like his, he was an artist as well. He went to art school for a minute. And, I think the Japanese art, so Lori's wearing the shirt, and that's what you would see around like teacups, the outline.
Yes.
And the dragon was tattoo flash art. But there was a lot of, I forgot what the symbol was that they used on an early shirt too, that they used on the We Stand Alone. It was like a symbol for strength or something like that. Ask Richie if he knows what that was.
Richie, do you know what what's on Lori's shirt? Is that the symbol?
No, it's
that circle. Symbol. I believe the circle on her shirt. I believe, Howie, are you ready for this one? Yeah. I believe it came from a Chinese menu.
It's a teacup or something. Yeah.
You were right. You were fucking right.
Love it.
Howie said he thinks he was right.
It was like
and the lettering came from, I think Pete saw the lettering in a book. They used to have a rub off for graphic artists. And you would rub the lettering and put it where you wanted to. And I think the lettering came from that series of that particular lettering, whatever it was called, and he took it from there.
Ray Hogan asks, "Hey Drew, what are your lasting memories of Lou?" And I would really, this is my favorite shot of me and him. It's a great shot, and of course it says a lot. It's in our beloved Tompkins Square Park, and I mean my lasting memory of Lou is just a good, honorable man, somebody who said who always played me straight, always played it straight with me in business and in friendship. Him and his band were good, honorable people, and I enjoyed working with them. And I'm honored to be a part, what little part for the music videos I did or whatever else I did, to be a part of the Sick of It All legacy. They were just a real class act to me. That's my memory of Lou and his brothers. Just really classy guys, man. You know?
Devil is confirming that kanji symbol was for strength.
The dragon was on a Chinese takeaway leaflet, Lou told me.
No, that's not true.
No?
Yeah.
No, it was tattoo.
The kanji's for stress,
Yeah.
for strength. Okay.
And then there was the whole weird Sick of It All Mob Deep thing, and
Yes.
and so
Fight over the dragon.
yeah, so my Sick of It All obviously used it much longer and earlier than Mob Deep, and then there was a whole thing, and apparently Mob Deep rehearsed at the same place Sick of It All did, so they saw it. They saw it and knew what it was, and then later there was a fucking lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because
but there was a lawsuit between Sick of It All and Mob Deep.
Well, Mob Deep did a deal with Supreme to do stuff, and they put the Alleyway Dragon all over it. And they had apparently had a gentleman's agreement to not use it ever again. And then a few years later, but it was after I think Prodigy died. And so I think
John said Mob Deep.
Yeah. So basically the estate, which I think was run by someone's wife, did this deal with Supreme, and they put it all over the place. Supposedly they had agreed to never do that again.
Yeah.
And that sort of set things off, right?
Well, that was the end,
A portrayal of vengeance says, my intro to Sick of It All was, quote, life on the ropes, as I am in my late 30s and essentially a new jack. That album was my gateway for New York hardcore. Also saw Sick of It All open for Gawar, and their energy was always unmatched. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
this is good. You stole our... Here you go. Hold on. There's a little bit here. You stole our logo. Nah, it's from a Chinese menu.
Exactly. So somebody's saying that they did a song together, which they did. So there was
that's the song that never saw the light of day, right?
No, it came out. So it was on. Eventually, it came out, and apparently, it was helped by my co-producer of Heavy Healing, Seth, who worked at Loud Records at the time. There was a Judgment Night kind of album that came out on Loud Records called Take a Bite Out of Rhyme, if I'm not mistaken. And they put out the Mobb Deep Sick of It All song to sort of be the beef squasher. And, of course, years later, then there's a deal with fucking Supreme to make merch.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, John says those Mobb Deep
Loud Rocks,
were not
that was the album.
actual dragon, but close. They claimed it was a lion, not a dragon.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Loud Rocks.
It's not a dragon. It's a lion.
It's a Chinese logo.
Yeah, right.
Yours goes dun 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 dun. Mine goes dun 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 dun. Vanilla Ice tried to claim that with Queen.
Yeah.
These are not the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. My wife has that ability with me.
Yeah.
She does that shit with me. She's like, these are not the droids you're looking for. And I'm like, oh, these are not the droids you're looking for. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like hopeless. Like my brain is so feeble that when she I'm so open to Jedi mind tricks. I'm helpless.
Somebody
She's
said,
like,
Luke,
yeah, I see it.
Drew, that you were thinking of the House of Pain song with Sick of It All.
Yeah,
that never came out.
Boom, boom, everybody.
Yeah. Because Everlast started wearing a Sick of It All hat.
I kicked the flavor, like Stephen King writes horror. If I was a Jew, then I'd like the menorah. The menorah. Excuse me, senora. All right, listen. Lou would want us to laugh and have a good time, everybody.
Correct.
Yes.
So, right?
100%.
We
Yes.
are.
Oh yes.
So the
Lou-
comments above that, Tom Araya having a Sick of It All dragon tattoo. Yeah, I think he had the dragon tattoo without realizing it at first that it was Sick of It All. Then he listened to the band and loved them. Is that the story?
I never heard this one.
Yeah, I never knew if that was true or not.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
out of the
the-
question.
that's
They toured together.
Yeah, it's the legend, the story I heard. So yeah, I think
Huh.
he did have a Sick of It All dragon.
Yeah, I have a cassette of that too, Devil, the House of Pain thing. And it got, cock blocked at some point.
What was cock blocked? I'm
The
sorry.
House of Pain, Sick of It All song.
Listen, we have to cock block this song. We can't let it out there.
Yeah, God
It's
forbid
too-
anybody
it's too
hears it.
inflammatory. We must cock block the new Sick of It All House of Pain show by any means necessary.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You lost Jewish points apparently,
Oh man,
according to someone.
bad.
Oh, listen, it's a long, hard road, buddy, here in New York.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. The House of Plain. The House of Plain
Oh,
songs at
that's
the end of the
true.
outtake CD.
right. It was like a
That's-
hidden track, right?
That's why I said that's what I was thinking about, a track that was never released.
Yeah.
That's the track I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that was it. And I guess it was like a hidden track on that.
Yeah. Yeah. The Relativity guy wouldn't pay $5,000 to release it.
Probably right.
Gee, how are you fucking cheap?
No, not me. I was begging. I didn't own that place.
Persecution of the internet, persecution of the innocents. A year later, Biohazard and Onyx blew up with Slam. A lot happened at once.
Yep.
In that
Yeah.
moment of what is it?
Those collaborations were coming fast and furious.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah. House of Pain did it home. You know what? Funny you should mention this, because as I reach over here,
Somebody just said it's a Lou tribute and we should focus.
Focus. We have to refocus.
there's my I took it off the wall because I wanted to put the Sick of It All thing on the wall, but there's my Judgment Night. Hey, you know what? Sick of It All stayed clear of that whole thing, huh?
Which?
The whole Judgment Night. I guess they did their own thing.
Well, the House of Pain thing was sort of
Right.
like something that but they did it independently, not because somebody was
Yes.
making an album.
Right.
But yeah, and it's interesting because those guys really legitimately liked hip hop. I don't know if everybody did. I don't know
Yeah.
if Craig and Armand was into it, but like I know that, when they found out that KRS-One was essentially in the next room, they were like, how the fuck do we meet him? And then it became, how do we get him on the album? And, and instead of having him like rhyme over the band, they had him do an intro.
Do you remember any of this, Richie? Sip?
I can't. I haven't heard Howie since the beginning, since we came back on.
I'm sorry. Do you want to sign off and come back on? That'll
Sure.
do it. Let
I'll
me.
give-
I'm gonna.
I'll-
I'm gonna
I'll
kick
give it a
you
try.
off. I'm gonna kick you off. Just sign back on.
Yeah, but that was,
nothing gets me too flustered on this show at this point.
Yeah. But that was, just sort of their attempt. And then, it stayed underground because at the end of the day, people, I think it's right that like the owner of Relativity didn't want to pay for it.
I hear him now.
Yeah, that makes sense. May, I want to say like formally that we really miss you and it's nice to see you.
Yeah.
May, I got to shout out May because she's one of the first people that supported the show when we went on the air 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
That surprise Sick of It All show at CBGB's, the one that was a memorial for Pete. I was in New York City. I asked Lou if they were playing, and he said, no, Armand's in California. I lost my tiny mind when Armand came on.
Oh, the Pete's Sake benefit?
Oh, for Pete's sake, that benefit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, we need a good Richie story. What do you got, Richie? A memory, a fond memory of our brother Lou? Anything?
There are so many. I have a most recent one that I wanted to mention to you guys. This was, I believe, I think about a year or two ago. Maybe Howie could confirm. They were in Japan about a year or two ago. I believe before Lou got sick, and he started to text me, and he started to text me from Japan. Him and I, he got me into Japanese animation, and him and I were always into these. I don't know if you know of the little robots, the Gundam robots. These huge models, and I'm a super nerd. I build all those models and things, and blah blah blah. And he was sending me video after video after video. He was like in he was like in a supermarket of these robots, and he just kept on sending me, and it just made me feel so good inside that he was sending me like video after video, like 10 videos that day from Japan. And he ended up, I don't know if you guys can see this, he ended up sending me this from Japan, this little robot, and I keep it on my desk, and I would look at it, and I think about him all the time when I look at it, and I still like just keep it on my desk, and it makes me think about him every day. And it was such a great feeling for him to send me that. You know, it was just amazing deep down inside. And there were just so many stories of like being, like I said, like being in their basement, going to a lot of rehearsal studios in the city. I don't know if Howie remembers Great Gray Area Studios.
Of course.
I remember that.
I think Helmet used to practice there, and various other bands used to practice there.
What I really remember was Ken's Music Box, the basement.
Yeah, and the singer, not the singer.
Where was that? Rivington Street, Howie? Where was
the Ken's Music Box was on Union Turnpike near St. John's University.
That was the original. Yeah. I'm talking about the one that was in the Village. I guess it was.
Yes, everybody rehearsed at Gray Area.
Yeah, it was a cobblestone street, and the owner was like, "Say no more." He used to have this like real like thick accent, and every time Pete and Lou and us, we used to walk in, we used to say no more to him, you know, because he had this like really harsh English accent that was great, you know.
You know, we all reminisce very fondly about those days of old rehearsal studios here in New York City, or you know, put your place your city here. But when we all used to go to these rehearsal rooms in the city, and you know, they were reasonably priced, and you'd book 2 to 3 hours, and you get your boys together, and you get a couple beers, and you know, chip in for a nickel bag, and you all go to the studio and hang out for 2 hours and play like music for your friends.
What was the one on 14th Street? I don't know if anybody remembers. There was a big one on 14th Street that everyone used to go to.
Giant?
Maybe it was Giant. Yeah, that one.
It was Giant.
It was either Giant.
Well, the Giant and the Ramones were always around there too.
Yeah, it was either Giant or Gray Area where I first presented Pete and Lou with the riff for Clobbering Time. And originally it was like a 4-minute song, which they were like, no. And I remember playing the intro for it, and they were like, "Oh, that part and that part only." And I remember like seeing the smile on their faces. And then the next few practices, we used to play Clobbering Time before it had a name. We used to just play it over and over and over because it used to make us so happy. It was so goofy and so powerful at the same time. And I was inspired for that riff by another band, which was actually Agnostic Front. If anyone knows the song With Time from Agnostic Front, I'm a huge Agnostic Front fan, and I loved that they had a slow song. You know, not back in the day, not too many bands, the groups had everything was like, and then they had this slow in, you know, so I took In Time, and it became, I just sped it up. So, you know, talking about copyrights.
You know what I do when I need it? You know what I do when I need a song?
What happened?
I bust out the Grateful Dead songbook, and I'll take some like Grateful Dead chord progression, and I'll just do it like at triple speed, and I'll be like, "Hey fellas, I got a new song." And you're like, "That's awesome!" And I'll be like, "Yeah, man, yeah."
Yeah, I was always
a Sugar Magnolia on the ID album.
Yeah,
I was always a huge. I was always a huge Zeppelin fan back in the day, and Pete and Lou used to make fun of me, and the frustration of not being able to figure out a Led Zeppelin song became many Sick of It All riffs.
and by the way,
which to this day makes me laugh, you know.
Just as a segue, anybody out there is looking for something to watch, I highly recommend the Led Zeppelin documentary that's on, is that Netflix right now?
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was amazing. Yeah,
I saw it in IMAX, and I'm rewatching it now. and this is coming from a documentary filmmaker. This is a very good music documentary.
Yeah, we need one like that on Sabbath if there isn't already one that I
Don't
maybe I
worry,
didn't miss.
don't worry.
Is-
This guy's coming on the show in about a
Oh,
minute.
there you go.
And I'm gonna straighten him right out. I'm gonna
I'm
be
not
like, listen,
worthy.
dude.
I'm not worthy.
I'm like, listen, dude. I got you, dude.
Nice.
We need to do the
That's
Drew
great.
Stone Black Sabbath documentary.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Rich, do you remember when someone came out of the woodwork and said "Clobbering Time" proved that Sick of It All was violent?
if they only knew it was like a goofy little. I believe the original version had a reggae part in it, and Pete and Lou were like, no.
Yeah. You know what? Just thinking about Sick of It All, and maybe how you could sort of lend some perspective on this. When Ian was on the show and a couple other people, talking about our music trajectories, Ian Mackay said, we never made that record. Like Minor Threat never made, like we never did like that record. Now, I was an Antidote and we made that record. We made Return to Burn and Discharge made Brave New World, and Sick of It All really never Sick of It All never really strayed the beaten path, and they never made that record. And I think, Howie, it's fair to say that like Sick of It All really stayed true to their initial trajectory. Is that fair to say?
100%. But what's interesting is there are so many twists and turns in what they did in production style in some of the songs as they got like sort of post Scratch the Surface. They tried a lot of different things, but it always sounded like Sick of It All. And they also even tried things with album art, right? So, there's things that were very different than what you would see in hardcore at the time. But like when emo became a thing, Sick of It All never wrote emo songs. And they, when it got super, super metal, they didn't do that. They always sounded like a hardcore band.
Yeah.
And even with like improved production and, sometimes they went to super Wake the Sleeping Dragon to me is basically just fucking balls to the wall of noise, crazy loud album. And then they had albums where you could really hear every little bit that they were doing, like all the little nuances. And that was by design. But there's no way anybody can ever say like they went for the sellout record or whatever. Even when they were on a major label with Scratch the Surface, they made the most fucking brutal, angry album you could have possibly made for a major label. And and it's like, and I worked with them before that, and Scratch the Surface is my favorite Sick of It All, because
it's interesting.
Found themselves.
It's interesting because I think, and Richie, you could probably testify to this, and I don't know if there was ever this discussion, but sometimes I would wonder, like certain bands, I think they reach a juncture and they go, well, maybe maybe we should mix it up or try to grow or try to make that record or try to do this or do that, or maybe we should just do what we do and just be great doing what we do.
Yeah,
and I always like talking to the Slayer guys. Like Slayer guys. By the way, I saw Kerry King in the street in our neighborhood, Howie, the other day.
Yeah, he lives in New York.
Yeah, I saw it with his wife the other day in the street. I'm like, yeah.
I think they live in like Battery Park City or something.
I think they're in Tribeca.
Tribeca, yeah.
Anyway, not to divulge where people live, inappropriate. But I remember Kerry King saying, like, they asked him, what's the new Slayer record going to sound like? And he said, well, it's going to sound like a Slayer record. Right. And like, there's no fantasy there. Like, what's the new Sick of It All record going to sound like? It's going to sound like a Sick of It All record. And that's what we want. And that's what we expect. And that's what we hope for.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying earlier. And I always thought that I was a little bit of that guy where I was like, hey, why don't we try something? And it always got shot down, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. I learned my lesson and I realized that they were on that trajectory, like, okay. And then the next songs I tried to write were as hard as I can get and to the what do you call it, the blueprint. But
sure.
But I always rewinding back to what you said that Sick of It All never made that record. I'm gonna say we did make that record, and I'm very proud of all the things that I did with them and the things they did after. And
Sure.
I think in my little heart, in my little mind, that they did make that record a couple of times.
Okay.
You know, but that's just me. I'm a little, I
Yeah.
guess, what's the fancy word? I'm a little partial. Was that the fancy word, Howard?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing, Drew. Like there's so many times you hear like they should have been bigger, and like not just Sick of It All. There's lots of bands that people say that about. They should have done like, and the label this and the distribution this, and instead they pushed this, and it's like all of that to me is bullshit, because every band, generally speaking, eventually gets to exactly where they're supposed to. That's what I believe. And at the end of the day, if the band is exactly what we think they are and want them to be, they'll reach that place. And so whether it may not be the first album, it may not be the second album, it might be the fifth album, it may be whatever. But like Sick of It All was probably never going to sell more records than they did on Scratch the Surface. And, you know, which is, by the way, a lot. And they were never going to be a bigger band than they were. You know, they're not a commercial band.
Yeah, that stuff didn't matter to us. Yeah.
No, nobody gave a shit. And like, you know, these people with the whole, oh, they should have been, if the label just did this, they would. No, that's not true necessarily. And, you know, it's bands reach their zenith on their own, you know, abilities and their own work ethic and all of those things. And that's the same with Slayer. Like Slayer became Slayer by being Slayer. And if we tried to be Metallica, nobody would like Slayer anymore.
Sure.
And, you know, because everybody would have seen through that shit.
What was the one Slayer record that was the one which I really like this record? The one Slayer record they did like a little off-centered for them.
It was probably like the fourth or fifth album.
Musical Diabolica? Is that what it was? With Gemini on it. Gemini!
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like,
that shit was hard.
But anybody who says that's not Slayer is ridiculous.
Right.
You
I
know?
just remember
like,
at the time, there was a lot of other elements seeping
the purists,
into. Yeah.
But there's always going to be.
Is that what Diabol?
In Musica. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Howie, as long as you don't change your styles like Celtic Frost did, you're all right.
Well, that and Discharge, right? They're the two worst fucking guilty, like, what the hell were you thinking? You know, records. And like Celtic Frost is right up there with.
I love the first few Celtic Frost albums are amazing. I still listen to them.
At least Discharge still looked like Discharge. Celtic Frost were wearing like stonewashed jeans and like silk
and their
shirts.
And Noodles that's a great shot.
Sent me this shot. Noodles and Lou. Noodles says thanks everybody for tuning in, and he just sent me that shot. So there you go. Hey, let me. Gemini was on their punk record. Oh, did I get it wrong? Oh, I like that record, the one with all the punk songs. Okay. Yeah. They do the Minor Threat songs and all that. That's that record with Gemini. Okay. I stand corrected. Not the biggest Slayer fan at the time. You know? Hey, let me do a quick sponsor break, and we'll come back, everybody. Let's ask everybody what their favorite Sick of It All record was. Let's talk about that, and we'll just chop it up for a little bit longer. Okay, so I'll see you back here in a minute.
I only like the stuff Rich was on.
Thank you, Howie.
I only like the stuff Rich was on.
Thank you, Howie.
Listen, I like Sick of It All, but like, you know, after that record, you know, after Richie Sick left the band, you know, it's just like, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, they sure did miss my popcorn sounding bass.
Yeah.
Rickenbacker.
That Rickenbacker sound.
They thought it was. They thought it was.
It's not the original one, but I got another one.
Let me see the headstock, Richie.
No, you don't want to see the headstock. It's not a real one.
No. Oh, okay. All right.
But I love this one. It's a great copy.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'll see you guys back here in a minute. All right.
Yes. I'll
see you back here in a minute. That's right. What's up? Paying homage to our our great friend and supporter, Lou Koller, who we miss very much. It is his memorial show, and we're here saying good things about Lou and having good memories. So thanks for stopping by. We are sponsored by blah, 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 and Minty Fresh Presents. They're a promotion company that put on hardcore metal shows at Locals Bar in Manalapan, New Jersey. Founded by Chris Golis of Bulldoze and Frankie DeAngelis of Silence Equals Death. The shows are all ages with plenty of free parking. The kitchen's open all night and the bar until 2 a.m. If you're a band looking to play and you don't totally suck, or if you do suck but draw a fuckload of people, reach out to them at mintyfreshpresents@gmail.com. Ticket pre-sales for events are available at mintyfreshnj.com. Check them out on Instagram at mintyfreshnj and help spread the word to support DIY hardcore metal in Central New Jersey. Minty Fresh Presents. Also, Gamma Bass Guitars, founded by Joe Milstein, built from one simple belief: finding a great bass couldn't be that hard or this expensive. After decades around music, tone, and gear, he stopped searching and started creating building basses that actually deliver where it counts. No gimmicks, no over-engineering, just clean design, lightweight feel, fast necks, and a tone that shows up whether you're on stage or in the studio. Most Gamma basses are built to order, so it's not just another instrument off the rack. It is yours. Check out these fantastic instruments at www.gammabassguitars.com. Mention the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live and get 25% off. Last but certainly not least, the Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Roulet, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information on online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Hey, please pick up your communication device and subscribe to the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. It's on the bottom there at Stone Films NYC. And also, just want to remind everybody, please support the show. There is a Patreon page right there. Want to shout out latest Patreons, Stefan Pignolosa and Keith S.A. Please support the show on Patreon. That's the way to do it. We need your support. We must continue in our quest. We must march through Valhalla. That said, I want to mention a couple of events that are coming up. Hold the line. Here we go. Hey, next up in Tompkins Square Park, in our beloved Tompkins Square Park, on Saturday, September 12th. That is actually a week from Saturday. Holy shit, it's coming up fast. Bad Luck 13, Silence Equals Death, Tree, Fugget, and RBNX. That is a week from Saturday in our beloved Tompkins Square Park. Stephen Messina has his show closing out at the Calling Bell now until September 27th. And this is going to be announced tomorrow, Sunday, October 11th. Rebelmatic Incendiary Device, the Drew Gets from Philly, Drunk Pilots featuring Opie, formerly of Negative Approach, and Idiot Box with DJ Sid the Kid Sound System, Sunday, October 11th at Berlin. Free 16 plus matinee. So it's all going down. That said, I want to ask you, as we head down the home stretch, what is your favorite Sick of It All record and why? Please post up in the chat room. Let's bring our guests back on. Lori Dawn, Howie Abrams, Richie Sip. The gang's all here. There you go. Let's see what we got.
Richie, what's your favorite Sick of It All album you didn't play on?
I guess it was the one Scratch the Surface was right after me, right?
Correct.
That one always sticks in my mind as a lot of great bass lines on there from Craig. Craig is a master of the 4-string Devastator, and that always stuck out. And I believe it was the most recent one. Also, I really enjoyed. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the most recent one.
Wait,
and I like that thing they did. Was there a the collection thing? I remember because they asked me to play guitar on it, and I loved that they asked me to play something Black Snake or something. I'm forgetting the name of it now. It was a great song. I forgot. It had like a real Black Sabbath kind of feel to it. It was amazing. I forgot the name of the song now, but that was also another one of my favorites.
I just Rob Echevarria just texted me, said, "Here's one for you. Pete and Billy Psycho on the left, and me, Lou, and Armin on the right." I send it to me. Where's the photo?
Shout out to Pete, by the way. We haven't even barely mentioned his name today.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, like every single thing that Lou did, and I mean every single thing from birth almost, they did together. And
oh yeah.
And such an important part of that band. And besides being, you know, Lou's actual brother,
I spoke to him.
Pals, and just shout out to him and sending love his way to Mei Ling and to Lucy, his daughter.
Big time.
Tight knit group, and the fact that Pete and Lou both only just had the one daughter, and there's such a connection there. But lots of love to Pete.
Yeah, totally overpowering love for Pete. He's always been, my. Him and I were always in the same, hotel rooms together, the same bunks in the bus, and always sitting next to each other on the vans. And so, he reached out to me the other day, and it was, kind of, it was, very, very sad. But he mentioned to me that Lou, before passing, said to him that he would love for the band to go on, all the hard work they put in. He would love for the band to go on, and I don't know, what capacity or whatever, but that when he told me that, my heart was just like, it sank, because I was just like,
that's a tough. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I spoke to Pete on the day that Lou passed, and there wasn't a dry eye on the conversation at all, and we just talked the whole time. It was just, water faucet the whole time. And but I've been checking up on him. He's been checking up on me every day, and spoke to their brother Matt as well, keeping in touch with him, and just you were just trying to reminisce and keep each other laughing with all the inside jokes. Me and Pete, we still tell the same inside jokes from the day I met them. They're 40-year-old jokes that he'll just text me, and I know what he means, and I'll send him back an inside joke that only our little world, our little brain, that we get. And getting back to Pete also, that him and I never saw each other as the classic guitar players, bass player, and he would always make fun of himself that he wasn't the what's the big fancy word I'm looking for? Maybe Howie can help me. Quintessential, right?
Yeah, sure.
Guitar player, but I always thought in my brain, in my mind, that he was an amazing guitar player. I don't care how many chords he knew or didn't know. I always thought I was always in awe of his riffs and the things that he came up with. And there's not many people that mention that, so that has to be mentioned. And Lou as well, the way he would come up with the words, and he would collaborate with Armand on the words and stuff. It was just amazing to me. I don't know.
Hey, can you hear me, Richie?
Yes, I hear you, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this was sent from Das Rob Echevarria.
My buddy. I grew up with him in Corona.
God.
Just sent me this, and he says, "What is this?" Wait, he told me what he.
It's New Look magazine.
Okay, you would know.
It came out probably about 85, and they did this thing on CDs. Yeah. So on the far left is Billy Psycho and Pete dancing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
On the right, you got Das, Lou, and Armand with the shaved head.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't even recognize Armand.
Yeah, at one time, Lou had like really long hair. It was like I always remember He had this long hair. Remind me of like an early, like when Ace Frehley like grew out his hair really long. That's what it reminded me of. And I always thought it was so cool and so amazing that Lou had hair like that. You know,
But then
back
he
in the
went
day.
very Bon Scott.
Yeah,
Like,
for a
the
while.
first couple of Sick of It All shows, he wore a Canadian tuxedo, all denim, and he had the Bon Scott haircut.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
And then he
He
had the
always-
rat tail. He had the rat
Of course,
tail. For a couple
that's
years.
just Queens
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah, we had the rat tail, and we had our dragons that Pete made. Pete was working at a porcelain jewelry store, a manufacturer, and he made all our dragons there that we wore. I lost mine somewhere on the road. I think Lou got his pulled out from stage diving, singing with the crowd, and he got it pulled off. And I don't think Pete ever made them. I always wish I would have had mine.
Here you go, Robert Hogg. Robert Hogg in Scotland just sent me that.
Nice.
So I guess that's
Yeah.
Someone
what's that?
posted, Drew, that something that Pete said, going back to Pete at the memorial, was incredible. And I thought the exact same thing, and I'm glad somebody brought it up, where Pete he could barely speak, honestly. It was a tough one. And he spoke very briefly. But one thing he said was to the effect of, Lou, we did it. Like, we did something that people dream of.
That's right.
And that basically it wasn't the playing the Garden thing, although I have a story about that, that they had a near miss playing the Garden, and a record company got in the way. But at the end of the day, this idea of we did it. And so going from the only goal being playing a CB's matinee to 40 years of the band and making a living as a hardcore band from New York is just unprecedented.
I love the way that that I read the obituary that New York Times in the beginning. I love
the household name thing.
I love I'm gonna reread the last paragraph. I quote, "Our first goal was to play CBGB's," Lou said, referring to the famed East Village Punk Rock Club. Quote, "We did that. Then our next goal was to headline CBGB's. We did that too. After that, we didn't have any more goals."
Yeah.
And I love that. It's like, you know what, man, we lived our dreams, man. We wanted to play CBs and get out of the neighborhood, and we did that. And you know what? Anything beyond that is just fucking gravy and glory, and we're gonna fucking enjoy it, and we're gonna live great lives. And that's what I feel like that really says,
Yep, definitely.
And he really did have a beautiful life. I mean, he traveled, and he met tons of people. He was loved by tons of people. He loved, his family. And so, he had a beautiful life.
I love this one that someone just sent me this. I got to put this one up. Someone just sent me this. Of course, we love people that send me multiple pictures in real time during the show. That's big points for that one. I'm not even, people assume I'm not even doing the show. I'm the show's happening. I'm sitting there going, la, 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 la. I'm doing the fucking show. Anyway, this is a great, I love this. He goes, "That's me in the picture behind Lou." He just sent this to me. Really? Fucking A. I'm in the picture behind Lou.
That's me.
This is me behind Lou in Bogota in 2011.
Oh yeah.
I think there's somebody down there right in front of him too taking a photo. It's too bad we don't have that angle.
Yeah.
Right.
That's, who sent that to me?
That's awesome.
Jonathan Limos sent me that. Yeah. Good one.
Fantastic.
I have a photo that every time I would send it
There
to
he is.
Lou.
That's me.
I have a photo here. I don't know if you can see it. Every once in a while, I would just randomly send this to Lou, and he would just die laughing. Look, I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
So adorbs.
Yeah. Good one.
It's me and my boyfriend, Aman.
Yeah. Good
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Who said there was wrong? You don't even have to use the word wrong.
Love is love.
Just love.
Well, You know what? Just real quick, I know I asked people what their favorites were. Let me just call out a couple. No Slip 60 says Call to Arms, Built to Last. Lewis says Second is Built to Last. Just Look Around.
Oh yeah.
Yours truly, Hand Down. First two records for me. Call to Arms, I love that era. Act of Defiance. His vocals are incredible. Band sounds so tight. I loved Blood, Sweat, and No Tears because it changed my life musically. But Call to Arms for the memories. We played Sanctuary at our wedding.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. That's great. Undisputed Attitude. Oh, you know, that's the Slayer record. Excuse
Back
me.
to the Slayer record. Yeah.
Yeah, Scratch the Surface. Their live albums were great. Yeah. Injustice System. That's a good one. Crazy. Yeah. Good. One of the best live records ever. Yeah. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
that said, hey, I'm glad we did this. Really nice. An hour, 2.5 hours into it.
Yeah.
I just hope that we did our friend justice, man.
We did.
Yes, totally.
And so did
Great.
everybody listening with the comments. And,
Yeah.
you know, it just kept
Yeah.
coming, and it was great.
Yeah, it's good to keep his memory alive and keep him in our hearts and minds for
Yeah,
forever.
live in a world
He
full
lives
of hate.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And please keep his family in your thoughts too, because they need it. They need all the good vibes and love they can get.
No doubt.
100%. Richie, I want to thank you for coming through. It really was special to have you here. Is there anybody?
I appreciate it.
Anything you want to say about Lou as we close, or anybody you want to shout or thank or anything like that?
Well, I just wanted to say I miss him very much. He's still in my, like I said, he's still in my heart, my mind. I still, I'm still reaching for my phone to give him a call, which is, sad and happy at the same time. But I will miss him. I love him. I still love him. And I know he's looking down at us. And as much as I can make Pete still laugh, I know Lou is laughing with us. And that's it. I miss him and I love you. And rest in peace, my brother.
Thank you, Richie. We'll talk to you soon, man. Okay.
Okay.
See you,
Take
Rich.
care, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
Take care. Take care, y'all.
Bye-bye. Woo-wee.
Great to have him on.
Ah, he was fantastic. You know,
That was great.
it was special. It was nice for him to be here. It really. And by the way, people asking me, Craig Satari was texting me along the way. He's with Judge right now, and they're driving across the desert. So Craig Satari was going to call in, but they're on the road. I think they're obviously out west, but he's like, we're driving through the desert right now. So they're watching, but he doesn't have the
bandwidth.
The bandwidth.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Gina. I mean, I was nervous about this, man. I just wanted to do right by our friend, man. That's important to me, man. You know,
We got the devil stamp of approval just now.
yeah, that's big. That's
Yeah,
big.
absolutely.
That means tons.
Yeah. I just wanted to do right by Lou, man.
Yeah.
He always do right by me, man. He was a good man and a good friend.
Yeah.
Craig just never stops. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He's out there in the desert right now.
Yeah.
You know. Thank you, Scott Helland, and I hope things are going, well for you and Sam upstate. Thank you, Dom, and all that. I appreciate it. Howie, anything you want to say as we close it out?
I mean, just this one really hit hard for me. I mean, I've lost plenty of friends and people in bands and whatnot, but I have a lot of experiences with Lou, different types of experiences. But as I said, I feel inspired by his humanity. And I feel like he was just one of the best people I've ever gotten to know. And that goes with the whole band, honestly. But I feel like Lou was sort of the spirit animal, for Sick of It All. And just an unbelievable person. And, we're never going to let him die. You know, his music's not going to let him die. His spirit's never going to let him die. And I'm just glad and feel incredibly grateful and fortunate to have crossed paths with him and have him trust me the way he had over the years. And just, you know, like Rich said, I mean, absolutely love him and always will. And, you know, I want everybody to be able to feel what we've all gotten to feel as a result of Lou.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Howie.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate you know, heeding the call for our friend and coming on the show and
No doubt.
and just being a great part of it. So thank you so much, Howie.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you, Lori.
I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon. I'll see you out on the sidewalk later.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
All right, take care.
See you.
You know,
Thank you.
sometimes when I go, you know, Howie lives up the block from me, so
Yeah,
sometimes
okay.
when a lot of times, like I'll go out on the way to the post office or to the fruit and vegetable stand or whatever. I walk past Howie's building and I
Yeah.
see him, and I see
Yeah.
him all the time. But yeah, oh, there he is, Craig ahead. Thanks for the show from Germany. Craig's in Germany. Great memories of Lou and Sick of It All. So much appreciated. PMA to you and the family. Thanks a lot. All right, Craig.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. And
Thank you, Craig.
I thought you guys were in Idaho, no? Or Ohio or something. Listen, same shit. Germany, Ohio, like what's the difference? Right?
Yeah.
Frederico, big up everybody. Great tribute. Thank you very much. Of course, man. Of course. Joe Frank, represent. Hudson Valley, brah.
Much love to the Sick of It All family.
Yep.
You know, whatever they decide to do, I think, whatever they decide to do, you know, we will, of course, be behind them 100%, you know? So,
Thank you, May. Thank you, Pete.
Yeah.
Thank you, Armand. Thank you, Scully, Craig, and everybody else in the Sick of It All camp. Yeah. And thank you, Pete, for giving me your blessing to do this. I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Pete and Mei Ling.
Yeah. Oh, not the same Craig. Oh, not the same Craig. Oh, there's a couple of Craig heads out there, apparently. There's a lot of Craig heads out there playing in bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
we love you, Lou. Live forever.
This was some great memories in the chat room today.
I still can't entirely wrap my head around the fact that Lou's gone. I still can't, you know? It's like I can't wrap my head around it. It all happened so fast, you know?
Yeah, it did seem to happen very fast. And he was just so larger than life, right?
Yeah.
So
he was good, man. He was good, he was a good dude, man.
Right.
You know, God damn it, man.
Yeah.
You know? So thank you, everybody. The pleasure's the pleasure's mine and the pleasure's Lori, and we love it. We're fortunate to be able to do this. So thank you, everybody. Richie Sip and Rob Echeverria and the fake Craig Ahead and everybody that Rich Zoller and Joe Frank and you know, Joshy and everybody, man. You
yes,
know?
Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? This is Lou's legacy, us caring about each other and coming together and caring about our communities and caring about the world around us and what happens, you know, outside our little corner of the world. That is Lou's legacy. That's what he wanted us to be aware of, caring for animals and people alike. That's what he wanted. So that's his legacy.
You did good. There wasn't a lot of crying in hardcore today. Oh, squeezing one in. Come on. Oh, yeah. It sucks, man. I know, man. It sucks. A lot of it's been happening lately, man. We're getting to that age where a lot of our people, you know. So
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Just thank you, Brenda. Yeah, this was a good one. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to cry out to? Any
Listen, I truly believe that Lou is on his next adventure in the universe, you know? Birth and death are just a game of hide and seek. That's all. So we meet each other again and again and again.
In the underground. Yeah.
That's right. He's out there screaming somewhere.
All right. Thank you, Lori. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Well, that's what's up. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all so very much for coming through the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live today, paying homage to our friend Lou Koller, who left such an indelible mark on what we know as New York hardcore. So thank you, Goldie. Everybody, man. His music will live forever. Just everybody, man. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I'll see you in a week. I'll be back in a week. We'll be here with Bumblefoot, and then we're in Tompkins Square Park putting on a live show with Bad Luck 13. So that's what's up. Once again, thank you, Joe Frank. Thank you, everybody. It was a fantastic show. I'll see you soon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do something that I truly love doing. Until next time, make sure I got everybody. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Andrew Wakeman. Listen, what do you want me to tell you? I'll see you soon. Until next time, do good things. And we love you, Lou. You're one of the all-time greatest. And good things will come to you. We miss you, Lou, very much.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone.